Before I caved into pressure and started buying up the Blu-ray collections earlier in 2022, I was determined to complete as much of my Doctor Who DVD collection as possible. What this meant is that I was stupid enough to buy about 4 of them for an outrageous 28 New Zealand dollars each earlier this year. Long gone are the good old days where you could pick up a handful of them in a bargain bin in JB Hi-Fi or the warehouse. Well, one of the ones I bought earlier this year was today's story, The Dominators, which arrived in pristine condition. I'm just kidding, the courier driver munted it beyond belief. But at least it works though, right? Oh no, wait, because for the first time ever, a Doctor Who DVD doesn't work in any of my DVD players. What's the point of having a PS5 then? Now, I'm well accustomed to having the odd foreign DVD not work in New Zealand DVD players, especially when you used to buy from the warehouse back in the early 2010s, but never a Doctor Who DVD. Like some DVDs from overseas, the discs have like region restrictions, but the Doctor Who ones have almost always been region free, so you could play them anywhere, unless you get the weird American ones with the ugly DVD cases. But yeah, it's just weird that this is the one that doesn't work. I mean, the Aztecs disc 2, like the special features one, didn't work if you remember that review, but that was a weird one-off case. Great. Well, thankfully it works on the laptop I borrowed to make these reviews. Thank you, babe. Hello and welcome to the beginning of the end for the Second Doctor. Sorry to make that sound a bit more sinister than it is, but we're already up to his final season. Man, it feels like only yesterday I began this journey with him, and now it's almost over. Thankfully, we're starting things off with a bang. The Dominators is a 5-part story this time, airing in 1968. It sees the Doctor, Jamie, and newcomer Zoe landing on a peaceful planet for a wee bit of well-deserved rest and relaxation. You couldn't have done that a few episodes earlier. That's exactly what Victoria wanted. I'm sure she could have used that. Anyway, all is not as it seems, for this planet has seemingly been selected for an unknown, sinister purpose by the bloodthirsty Dominators. There's only 2 of them, but that's more than enough to instill fear in the local populace and get the job done. The Cybermen, Ice Warriors, Daleks, they could all learn a thing or two from these guys. Their ultimate end goal is kept from the viewer and not shown outright at the start of the episode like so many other stories do, which adds a little bit of mystery and some serious intensity in the last few episodes. Like I said, there's 2 of these guys. One is a dignified, composed leader, the other one a ruthless, bloodthirsty, shoot first, ask questions never type. At their disposal, a small army of Quarks. No, not those Quarks. No, I mean these Quarks. Little gonk droid-looking robots with spiky helmets. Admittedly, these guys look more like gonk droids than that robot from The Wheel in Space. Gonk, gonk. They were created specifically as a merchandising opportunity to rival that of the Daleks, but their design is just a bit too busy and their voice is very silly. Like, the Dalek design is simple, compact, menacing, rotund, whereas these little guys are clumsy and have the voice of a small child. You'd be better off trying to market the Chumblies. Yeah, remember that one? Neither do I. And yet, they can still brutally disintegrate people at a moment's notice, which is just one instance that's quite violent despite the dated special effects. It's a pretty tight narrative, apparently originally being scripted to be a 6-parter before being reduced to a 5-parter, although as a result the next serial, The Mind Robber, had to be extended by an extra episode, so we'll see if that story suffers because of the pacing. There are many cool scenes, like the Doctor having to play dumb so he's not seen as an intellectual threat to the Dominators, which admittedly works a little too well because they straight up just let him go free, because he's apparently not worth their time. Imagine having a head so far up your own butt that you're just like, oh, these primitive species, sure they're blowing up a couple of our machines, but they're no threat to us. Sigma Dominator mindset. Or the leaders of this local society not being outright useless, but just so tied up in their stubborn deliberation instead of, actually acting on important matters like, I don't know, the destruction of your planet, the enslavement of your people. No, you just want to talk about it for a while? Alright, Treebeard. Apparently that scenario was written as a subtle jab towards a certain group of people, but I like to view it as a more universal representation of ineffective leadership that would rather spend more time talking about things than actually acting on them. Man, I had a real good time watching this. I loved the few practical explosions. I found the quarrels between the two Dominators to be really engaging. This is just one of those stories where the writing and the pacing combine together to create a really solid set of episodes. One of my regular viewers said that episode 5 in particular was phenomenal television, and you know what? I have to agree. A couple of genuinely funny moments near the end there too. Yep, I think it's safe to say that I've got a good feeling about Season 6. If they can keep up this superb quality, then I'll be happy. Although we're only 2 stories in, and the old sonic screwdriver is already defying logic, being used as a blowtorch to cut through solid concrete. Settle down, Doctor Who, I was joking when I said that the sonic screwdriver was magic, alright? What's next? It's going to use it to fly, to mind control people, use it as a lightsaber. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be giving them ideas. Wait, what am I talking about? This all came back out in the 60s. What am I on about? Giving them ideas. Wow, what's this? An actual shorter classic Doctor Who review? Happy days! Tune in next week while we take a look at The Mind Robber and its creepy DVD cover. Ugh.